Hi everyone, it's Eric Uzwa from Wazoo Enterprises back again to talk to you about programming the Game Toolkit SDL, which is the simple direct media layer available from libsdl.org. I've got a Visual Studio 2008 open up here, and we're going to start with an empty project. Now if you've already followed my Hello World sample on the website, then you would have been able to set up the compiler to handle the SDL libraries. So let's go ahead and create a new Visual C++ Win32 project type, Win32, and we'll just call it SDL empty project. This is going to be a very basic project here. We're going to be opening up a window and running in a main loop until we then close everything down. So for application settings, let's go ahead and create an empty project, finish, and we'll add a new main CPP file. And we'll get going here. Let's add the SDL main header file, and then our program entry point, char*argv. Hopefully I don't make any typos here. Now the first thing we're going to have to do is we normally split games into what I call phases. We've got a startup phase, which is where your code is initializing itself, you're creating your video drivers, your input devices, any audio, music, sound, graphics that you want to load up. Typically you kind of do that before you're running the game. That way everything is kind of preloaded and ready to go when your game needs it. So I usually call that the startup phase, and there's a command for that, an API call in SDL called SDL-init, and it takes a bunch of flags, but I just use everything. Okay, so SDL everything. So if our return code is less than 0, then there's an error, and we want to get out of there. Otherwise, keep going, and we want to set our main video mode of our window. Let's just create a 800 by 600 video, and then we'll use a command which is called SDL get video info. And all we're doing here is we're grabbing the format of our display, just for easy creation right now, and then we can pass a bunch of flags for setting the video mode, and I'm just going to use resizable, which just means that we can grow and shrink the window as we need to. You can set that later on so that you can't allow your players to do that on you, but just for easy's sake, let's do that right now. And then we'll call wm set caption, and all we're doing here is changing the window title. So let's just call it SDL empty project. SDL empty project. Okay. And then we're done. That's the end of our startup phase. And now we go into more the main loop phase, which is just a main loop is what you would expect. It's a code that just keeps executing until the player decides to leave the game, or you shut down the window, or your computer gets disconnected, or any of that kind of fun stuff. So we're going to start a main loop phase, bool done equals false, SDL event. So while we're not done, we're grabbing any event that our SDL event queue sees, and then if we receive a quit message, then that just means the player wants to leave. We've closed the window, anything like that. Alt F4, I believe. And then we'll just throw in a default case here, just for... Okay, so, and now the shutdown phase. The shutdown phase is usually where we clean everything up. Any memory that we've allocated during our startup phase is when we clean it up during the shutdown phase, just to play nice with the computer on. You don't want somebody playing your game. Okay. You don't want somebody playing your game only to find out that they've created a bunch of memory leaks or anything like that on the machine. That's not fun. So let's go ahead and shut down here. We'll use the API call of SDL called SDL quit. We'll return 0, and we're done. That's really all there is to a main loop. So let's go ahead and compile it. Again, I like to use the multi-byte character set, and for a linker, let's go ahead and enter in the SDL like that. Let's build it. I probably typed it in wrong. Resize, oh, there's no E on that one, right? Oh, illegal case. Oh, yeah, the switch statement would help. So we're switching the event type message. My bad, sorry everyone. Hooray! Now let's copy in our DLL. I've got it sitting around here from another project. And this is just the same SDL.dll that comes with the toolkit that you download from the website. So we'll go ahead and hit the debugger, so F5. And again, here we go. We've created our main window. It's now going in our main loop, processing any message that we send back to the game, and really it's looking for nothing other than the quit message. So once we close the window, that sends the quit message to the message queue, which is what we're basically setting up here, and it's shutting everything down after that. Thanks a lot everybody, hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave some feedback, and we'll see you next time.